Welcome back to the Whiskey Tornado Advent Calendar. Today is day 5, and we have a really good one for you. Staying in Kentucky, but we're going to a smaller, newer distillery. I think they're putting out like 6-year juice right now, but it's Wilderness Trail out of Danville, Kentucky. This is just a phenomenal, one of my favorite newer distilleries. They are doing a lot of cool things. 2 guys that were in a band that had 20 years in the industry started this company, and they are sciencing the shit out of bourbon. So let's go in and, let me give you some information on this first. This is a store pick. It's a Benny store pick, aged 4 years, 8 months, in a number 4 char and toasted barrel. It's got the stored rickhouse here, yeast strain. It says Firm Pro 1. This is bottle 70 of 211. And we'll nose this first, and then we'll get into some other cool stuff about Wilderness Trail. You get that kind of sweet corn on the nose. Honey. Definite like candy sweet caramel. And I think I'm even getting some like orange zest in there. Nose is beautiful. It's already from the nose, this is a younger distillery, but it does not smell crafty. I don't get that crafty like hay note, or I refer to this a lot in my videos. I used to go to the feed store to get feed for the horses with my grandfather, and the feed sacks sometimes in a craft bourbon, that's what I get. I get that note, and it really turns me off. This is not there at all. It may smell a little bit young, but we are looking at, if I didn't say, this is 115 proof, 57.5% alcohol. Nose is really nice on this. All right, let's see how the viscosity is. Sticks to the glass real nice. Yeah, all right, cheers guys. Nice sweetness, honey, caramel, a little thread of that oak, good hug, some good proof there. The viscosity and the mouthfeel on this is great, really creamy. And again, none of those like craft notes you get from a 4 to 6-year-old distillery. None of that. I think this is going to be, Wilderness Trail is going to be like in 10 years one of those distilleries where people are just hunting for their bourbon and can't get their hands on it. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of that like orange zest is carrying through. I think I got on the nose. So caramel, honey, that corn sweetness, orange zest. Let's see if I get any other notes. The cool thing about these guys is they use a sweet mash, so they start over every time. The mash bill on this is 64% corn, 24% rye, and 12% malted barley. And they source most of their, I think all of their grain actually from Kentucky. But they science it so much that, they even, I think they're the first distillery in Kentucky that has chemically free steam that they use. So they've consulted with a lot of big name brands who I don't think they can release, but they've said basically if you go to any liquor store, reach out your arm, you're probably going to hit a distillery they've worked for. Really nice. Yeah, just none of those craft notes for such a young distillery. They're going to do big things. Now, is this the best bourbon I've ever tasted? No. Would I put it in one of my ratings? Probably not. But it's one of those things where I like to take a craft distillery, say, is this promising or not, rather than rate it and score it. And this, to me, is the most promising craft distillery or newer distillery out there. You can just tell. I think they're putting out a 6-year bourbon now that's all theirs. But they are going to be something else. Yeah, this is beautiful. Really long finish. Man. I think the price on this is a store pick, so I think the price on this was about $60 or $65 because it is cash strength. It's going into the barrels at a lower proof, I think, which I think is helping the sweetness on it. Oh, just really good. I mean, this is better than the Blantons and Buffalo Trace we had, in my opinion. Not better than the Stag Junior, but really nice. I could nose this all day. Yeah, even like that vanilla frosting note is even on there. So yeah, caramel, vanilla frosting, a little bit of orange zest. Finish that goes on forever for a, barely almost a 5-year bourbon. Just a beautiful offering, wonderful store pick from Benny's. Excited to have this one, excited to share it with you guys. Be on the lookout for Wilderness Trail. This is a brand that is, I think, going to be hard to get in the years coming, but it's fun to taste their young stuff and watch them progress. But again, kudos to them for being a younger distillery and not having any of the craft notes that I hate. All right, guys, cheers.